believe that's on Bartek. And again, as I re-emphasize, they're calling it very tight down there right now.
Already we've had 5 fouls called in the game. 3 on Columbia, 2 on Township.
Fortunately, nobody has 2. There's a kickball. 3-pointer, Jim.
I'll tell you, got good height and distance on that one. Left-footed, too.
We'll see if Columbia now will set up in a half-court offense and run the play. The last time they forced it inside and turned it over.
Stacy Aston, 21 on the point. And she hits from 19 feet.
That's going to be a key also, Jim. That Township zone is going to collapse inside on Bachman and Groft, and that 15 to 18-footer is going to be there.
And if Columbia can hit it, it'll force Duncheski to change his offense.
Bartek from distance.
And the same philosophy at the other end. Michelle Savage on the press almost gets a turnover, but Columbia will inbound.
That's a 2-2-1 zone press, and they're double teaming on the inbounds pass.
I was going to say, you know, some of the fouls that they've been calling, that tackle had to be called. Bartek picks up her second foul.
Jim, I believe Township may be a player or 2 deeper than Columbia. We'll see about that. And I'll tell you, if Township is going to press 92 feet and commit some of those fouls, they're going to have to be a little bit deeper.
Inbounds to Bachman. Thus far, Groft and Brown have been very quiet. Groft puts up the shot.
Number 2 on Sheehan with the body. Now we've got a key part in this ball game. Sheehan with 2 fouls. You've got to believe that Kreiser and company is going to kick the ball inside to Groft or whoever Sheehan is guarding.
Let's be honest, that should be what they try to do unless that zone is packed too tightly.
8-4, Manheim Township leads as Groft is at the line for the tie.
It's the first one.
Very noisy gym, and as Jim mentioned, I believe half of it's got red and gold on out there.
Groft hits both of them.
8-6, now we've got a whistle. Karen Bayshore, the official underneath the bucket, is holding off for the substitution.
Kristen Spinagle, the 6-foot sophomore, has replaced Missy Bartek. I'm sorry, that's not Bartek that went out. Who went out there? Sue Boyer? Sue Boyer went out for Township.
That may be more of a defensive change. Look for Spinagle maybe to check Groff inside next time down. 2-3 zone by the Tide. Sheehan has it.
Bartek misses, grabs her own board, and misses, and retrieves the loose ball.
There was a lot of contact, and I thought Columbia stopped figuring there was going to be a foul.
Good hustle by Bartek. McGovern into Sheehan, and puts it up too hard. It kicks out to Bachman.
Sheehan not bashful with those 2 fouls. She almost climbed off over a back.
Renee Groft taps the rebound out, but taps it to Savage, who is on the run and is going to penetrate. Low pass to Bartek on the baseline. Turnover, going to come back the Tide's way.
One of the few turnovers on the Blue Streaks. Columbia's had some trouble, and here's the press again.
Bad pass, trying to get a 2-on-1.
The bounce pass was there, Jim,
yes,
for the layup.
Good defense by Kim Brown. Deprives Bartek of the ball. And Brown throws up a brick. Shooting out of control. Very racehorse game up and down the court.
8-6 Township, 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Spinagle and Sheehan both working low. Now Sheehan comes up high, gets the ball. Nice feed by McGovern. Spinagle misses the rebound, and Ann McGovern gets hit with her first foul.
I'll tell you, Jim, Columbia's playing that 2-3 zone, but Sheehan is finding the gap in that zone, and the Blue Streak girls are getting her the ball down low where she can do some damage. She's just missed a couple buckets.
She seems to be, you know, both teams seem to be putting up the ball too hard, or affecting long rebounds.
Again, I think that's some of that adrenaline they got to get out of them. They're just so fired up, and they want to do so well. And I believe they just got to relax a little bit, and it'll all come to play.
Kim Brown hits the first. 22-point per game scorer. Just now gets into the scoring column. Minute 47 remaining in the first quarter. And she hits both to tie at 8.
Savage has it out front. Baseline right to McGovern. They try to swing it inside, and it's stolen by Aston.
Savage trying to pass over her head. Good block by Spinagle. An outstanding play.
On Kim Brown. And Kim Brown goes to the hole with authority. And now it's Columbia basketball, I believe. Township tried to pull a fast one and get that inbounds pass.
Bachman long rebound, Bartek.
Oh, she almost traveled.
Yes, she did.
She might have gotten away with one.
I think she did. McGovern from 18 feet, rims, rebound Brown. Under a minute to play in the quarter. Will Columbia hold for the last shot?
I don't think that's in Columbia's game plan right now.
No, you're right. Stacy Aston misses. Left side, McGovern with the board. Bartek on the move. 35 seconds to play.
Now, Township, on the other hand, may play for one. Especially if Columbia's going to sit back in that 2-3 zone. I'm sure they will. Just the difference of the two ball clubs, I believe. Different personality.
I think if I were Township, I would get that shot up with about 7-8 seconds to allow for a rebound possibility.
Also, with Sheehan with 2 fouls, you don't want to go down there and play defense and have the chance of drawing that third foul. Now they got to go with it. 6 seconds. Good if it goes.
McGovern hits with the rebound. Well, as the buzzer sounds, Township takes a 10-8 lead, and we'll be back with the second quarter right after. Open the second quarter. Steph Deeg into Tracy Aston. The Tide behind by 2. Okay, now Karen Bayshore, the official, has hit Spinagle with a foul. She has been covering Brown. That time she was covering Groft. First foul on Kristen Spinagle.
That's a no-win situation, Jim, with Groft and Brown down there. Somebody's going to hurt you. Both girls are over the 1,000-point total in their careers at Columbia High School.
Renee Groft now a perfect 3 for 3 from the foul line.
I was going to say, Jim, she'll probably miss this one, but you don't want to put her on the line because she can really drill them from the charity stripe. See that?
You are a kiss of death, John. Missy Bartek in control. Both lineups the same as they finished the first period. Savage, Bartek, McGovern, Spinagle, and Sheehan for the Streaks.
Kim Brown is playing Sheehan a lot tighter than before. As in that first quarter, Sheehan was getting the ball in the lane.
That time, Spinagle tried to strike with a left-hand pivot shot. Strong rebound by Renee Bachman.
Spinagle is on Brown, and Groft is guarded by Sheehan. There's a I thought it was a whistle.
So did I.
Now there's one.
Somebody in the crowd, I feel, has a whistle, John. I was sure there was a call.
I heard it through the headset.
That's a jump ball situation. Alternating possession goes to Township.
Township leads by 1 and has the basketball.
Bartek hits a quick turnaround from the foul line to increase the streak lead to 3. Columbia now having broken the press. Bachman from the foul line misses Deeg. Mrs. Brown goes up, and she's going to draw a foul from Ann McGovern, I believe.
That was
good rebounding that time. Columbia got a couple shots.
They sure did, Jim. That's what I was just about to say. I guess I should have just let you say it. They really pounded the offensive board. And again, however, the press was broken, but again, Columbia shooting out of control, not setting up for the good shot, but they got the rebound, and now at the line is Brown for a pair. .12-10 as Brown makes the first, and she'll get a second. Manheim Township is over the limit. In fact, I believe they've committed about 18 fouls.
Good foul shooting by Kim Brown. That's a late substitution, isn't it, John?
Can't get any later. I think they'll probably give you a little bit of a leadway with all the noise. Maybe they didn't hear the horn.
Sue Boyer comes in for Ann McGovern for Township. So now the Streaks using Spinagle in the high post. Opens up Sheehan, and she cans the 6-footer.
She's had that shot most of the afternoon. She's had a little trouble putting it in.
Karen Sheehan with 8 of the Streaks' 14. Columbia a little trouble getting the ball up court. Whoa, Renee Bachman just charged into everybody. No fouls called either way.
Again, Columbia forced the issue, though. A very, should I say, I don't know.
Out of control, I think.
Out of control, that's the word I was looking for.
Spinagle rebounds and misses. Jump ball, Groft and Spinagle. Township, again, with a couple shots down there and not being able to put them down.
Both teams missing a lot of easy shots. Columbia playing a bit out of control, however, on the offensive set.
Renee Bachman handling, looking for some help out there. Deeg and Aston. You know, John, the Township pressure is keeping Columbia from really setting up to work the ball inside as comfortably as they'd like to.
You're certainly correct, Jim. The one thing we didn't dwell on, and I don't want to dwell on it, but Columbia coming out of Section 2 was not pressed all year in Section 2. Their toughest ball games were playing Section 1 teams non-league, and they're getting a test today.
Exactly right. Boyer misses. Rebound Brown. Good outlet to Bachman. And a turnover. Ball goes off Bachman's foot. Aston cannot save it.
Jim, Columbia is really feeling the heat. We're well into the second quarter now, and those jitters should be out of the system. But we're not keeping turnovers up here, but they have to have at least a dozen.
But, you know, as the way they're playing, they still aren't getting blown away. If they could ever get it together,
they're fortunate, you're right, to be within 3. They certainly are.
There's Sheehan again.
You can run that instant replay all day. She's getting that 10-footer in the paint, turnaround jumper, and now she's canned 2 in a row.
Sheehan with 10 points. Bad pass. Columbia survives, however.
There's where they got to go. Their meal ticket. Renee Groft in the lane. That's the whole key. If Columbia can get the ball up the floor, set up their offense, and go down low to Brown and Groft, Township may have some problems.
Even so, that pass was just about tipped.
Exactly.
Groft with a big board.
Columbia shows her patience. It'll be there.
Kim Brown, and really not a very pretty turnaround. Savage on the fast break. She's going to draw a foul, I believe.
Jim, I don't know if you saw it on the screen. There were 3 blue shirts inside the lane ready for that rebound. There wasn't a gold shirt in sight.
Right. Second foul on Kim Brown. Savage will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Columbia's forte all year was their rebounding strength and their inside game, and right now with Spinago and Sheehan, they are certainly neutralizing it. Manheim Township playing a very disciplined game and a good ball game up to this point.
We spoke in the pregame show, as Savage misses, we spoke in the pregame show that we suspected we'd see a lot of Spinago to offset the Columbia height advantage. She's contributed.
Good observation, and that was the key. When Sheehan got 2, Spinago came in and helped out.
Savage misses both. Brown with the rebound. 13-6, 13-16. Township leading. 3:40 to play in the first half. Jim Doherty and John Graham here bringing you playoff championship girls action. Kim Brown, nice move inside. And again, John, they set it up. They work the ball to Brown. Brown moved to the hole.
That's right.
Brings the Tide within 1.
She had Spinago right on her hip where she wanted her, and there's nothing that Spinago could do.
Turnover, Boyer lost the ball on the baseline. Columbia.
Here comes the zone press, 2-2-1, and they'll trap when Columbia goes to the 1 corner.
Renee Bachman's in trouble. She gets it to Brown, however. Picked her pocket. That's Savage.
Corrinda Bachman made her pay, and now she's going to have to earn them at the line.
Didn't she?
They say if you're going to foul, you may as well not give them the 3-point play.
That's always my philosophy. Hey, we have a timeout on the floor. Columbia calling time, trailing by just 1 with 3 minutes to play in the half. Line, Michelle Savage. Her right hand encased with an ace bandage around that damaged thumb. Missed her last 2 foul shots. Imagine it's pretty difficult to put it up there with a bad thumb. Hey, she put that one down. Streaks up 17-15 now.
That is her shooting hand also, Jim,
Yes.
so that's got to be a factor. Of course, if she handles the backcourt and the pressure and does her job, I think the Dunchesky and company will be happy.
They've brought some scorers along. Nice. Oh, rolled out on Steph Deeg. Thought she had canned it. Now a 3-on-2 fast break. Good defense by Deeg. Dropped back on the baseline. Batted it out of bounds.
That's good hustle, Jim, because as you mentioned, Deeg missed a layup at the other end, and she didn't hang her head, and she went back on defense.
That's right. She went back and went back to work.
No good. Now Columbia will shoot for the tie.
2:20 to play. Stacy Aston a little deep.
I believe Columbia can get better shots than that, Jim, if they just work at it a little bit.
I agree. We don't have a shot clock. They could take a little time. Now Savage in the corner. Spinago from the low post goes up high. Boyer opens up in the corner, and she shoots. Flat trajectory, gets the rebound, misses. Rebound bounces off the prone Sue Boyer. Goes out of bounds, going to be Columbia's ball.
I'll tell you, Jim, there was 3 bodies on the floor, and if you've noticed, in the last 2-3 minutes, they've let them play.
Yeah.
This is not the same ball game as the first quarter.
Number 43, Renee Smith, checks in for Columbia. Gets the ball on the break and the drive, and on the board immediately. On a fast break off of the press to tie at 17. That is precisely what Columbia has needed to do. And another turnover at the other end. Deeg on the run. McGovern rushes to the scorer's table to check in for Township.
I would think Columbia would like this up-tempo ball game. They want to get a couple of hoops and get the momentum going. Township more disciplined.
Aston and Deeg working the ball. Stolen by Boyer. Bartek is wide open. And she scores on the fast break. Well executed. Well done. Boyer to Bartek. Another loose ball steal by Savage. Calling the travel. A break for Columbia.
I'll say.
Break for Columbia. Excellent.
I don't know if it was a travel or not, but I think what Dunchesky is very upset about is it was called very late.
Yeah, Savage had made an outstanding steal.
And you can fly on that floor as long as you don't roll and turn to get away from your opponent.
Smith had a shot at the rebound and missed it. Bartek charging a lot of missed shots in this first half, John. A lot of turnovers.
It has not been the best of play here in the first half. Very close, very competitive, but the skill level I know can be better.
35 seconds to play. Township going to wait for the last shot. You recall at the end of the first quarter, McGovern scored on a buzzer-beating rebound.
They have nothing to lose. They'll either go in at halftime leading by 2 or 4, and I'm sure Coach Dunchesky would have been happy if you told him he could have had a lead at halftime.
Exactly right.
15 seconds. They'll start to work the play now. Sheehan at the foul circle with her back to the bucket.
It's going to be Boyer with the jumper, and she cans it.
That'll do it for the half.
That's halftime. Teams leaving the floor twice, John. Manheim Township has benefited from that last minute of play, and those two buckets, ironically enough, are the margin on the board at the time. So we're at halftime at F&M. Manheim Township girls 21, Columbia 7. Rushed shots, missed shots, costly turnovers, and a margin of 4 points. It's still anybody's game, and I don't know, I imagine that locker room, both locker rooms were really buzzing with strategy and confidence, and calm it down, play your game, don't let your opponent dictate the style of play. And I think we can look forward to a heck of a second half. We have scoring rundown here for the first half, John, and as I said, anybody's ball game at this point.
It sure is. As bad as Columbia's played, they only trail by 4, and Township, of course, glad to go into the locker room with 4. Very quickly before the second half starts, I'll run down the scoring for the Blue Streaks. Savage with 1, but doing a great job in the backcourt. McGovern 2, Boyer 2, Bartek 6, and they were all from distance. And the key in the first half, Karen Sheehan has 10, working inside against Groft and Bachman. She's getting that shot in the paint, and she's hitting that turnaround jumper, and she leads with 10 of the 21. For Columbia, Kim Brown has 6, Groft has 5, Bachman 2, Aston 2, and Smith 2. However, the key, Renee Groft only has 1 field goal. The other points coming from the foul line, and Kim Brown has just 2. So Sheehan and Spinago have done the job on Groft and Bachman.
Exactly right. Sheehan has dominated offensively, and as you suggest, Spinago and Sheehan have really taken away the game of Groft and Brown. Manheim Township inbounding to start the second half. Sue Boyer on the left side swings around, works it into Sheehan, and she's tied up by Bachman. Good defense, helping out underneath. Alternating possession goes to Columbia, and the ever-present Township press is in effect. Deeg handling, looking for help. Stripped Brown. Kim Brown is stripped by Savage from behind. Another stellar play by little 5'2", Michelle Savage, and then she throws it out of bounds.
I was just going to say, Jim, on that press, Columbia has not turned it over that much in that backcourt, but when they get the ball across the timeline, that's when they're kicking it away.
Kicking it away or taking an ill-advised shot. There's Stacy Aston.
Another ill-advised shot.
Rushing run up, shooting an air ball. Loose ball retrieved by Steph Deeg. Renee Smith from distance, and that might go down. She got it. Renee Smith off the bench.
Our vantage point is up here in the upper deck, and we can see that ball in the rim with great perspective.
Renee Smith coming off the bench has scored twice. The lead 21 to 19 Township. Stacy Aston with a rebound of a missed Boyer jump shot. Aston clears into front court. Nice ball handling. And she's shooting from that 19-foot line and missing. Rebound by Boyer. It appears that Columbia is accustomed to putting up that outside shot, relying on Groft and Brown to rebound the misses, but they're not getting them today.
They certainly aren't, Jim. We might add that Groft right now is on the bench, getting a breather, but she ought to be out there when this game comes down to crunch time.
Sheehan misses the turnaround. Bachman with the rebound, clearing into front court, and it's Aston again controlling against the Township zone. Bachman fires one up from the corner, retrieved by McGovern of Township. Savage on the run. She's going the whole way and misses the shot. Sheehan gets
Travel,
the rebound.
I believe. No foul. Okay. Foul before the shot.
Before the shot. As Sheehan came down with the rebound, I believe it's going to be called on Kim Brown.
When referee Karen Bayshore waved off the shot, I didn't know whether there was a violation or a foul before the shot. She made it clear to everybody in this gym that that shot was not going to count.
Right. Okay, Kim Brown picks up foul number 3 here early in the third quarter. Township with Sheehan. Retrieves the inbound. Bartek at the point. Savage on the wing. She has a shot if she wants it. She's looking inside, looking to Spinagle. It gets there volleyball style, but the shot is off. Retrieved by Renee Smith on the weak side rebound effort. That pass tipped by Savage, who is all over the floor. Bachman from the baseline. Savage with a loose ball.
Township is getting most of the loose balls. They seem to want it a little bit more right now.
Savage drives and misses, and it's Renee Smith with the rebound. Fouled by Savage.
That was a bad foul, Jim. The girl was on the floor, had no chance to take the ball, and just committed a foolish foul.
A little bit of frustration after missing the layup, John.
I think that's got to be the only case for it.
Savage is a hustler, though, isn't she?
Oh, she's all over the place. And like I said, Township is scrapping for every loose ball they can.
Bachman clearing. Hits Brown in the paint. That is an offensive play that Columbia needs to duplicate. They have tied at 21 with 5 minutes to play in the third period.
Columbia in a 2-1-2 zone. And I'll tell you, if Columbia gets this thing tied or gets a lead, they'll bring that crowd back into the ball game.
Savage with a rebound. Savage to Sheehan. Sheehan in traffic, misses the shot. McGovern rebounds.
There's a loose ball by Township again.
Bartek, she has McGovern underneath. McGovern kicks it outside to Bartek, and she misses. This is going to be Bachman with the board.
Columbia now will shoot for the lead for the first time in a long time.
Township with several scoring opportunities, unable to put it down.
A forced shot there by Kim Brown, trying to draw the foul, did not get it. And now we'll have a jump ball or a tie-up, and it'll be Township's alternate possession.
Renee Smith, having come off the Columbia bench, scored 2 buckets, several rebounds, just now involved in that loose ball. She's playing an inspired game coming off the bench.
We're tied at 21, believe it or not, halfway through the third quarter already. Sheehan just can't buy a bucket the last 2 trips down.
Again, being defensed by Renee Smith, much shorter than Sheehan, but really hustling out there for the Tide. Kim Brown misses. Bachman misses. Loose ball.
Columbia's
tied
basketball.
Up. Renee Smith in the tie-up on the ball. She is Columbia's counterpart to Michelle Savage, I believe.
She's kind of been the catalyst that's gotten the Tide going here a little bit in the second half, but still, it seems that both teams are still struggling out there.
Okay, now, with Renee Groft out of the game, Fran Ducheski has brought in Sue Boyer and taken out Kristen Spinagle.
Good observation, Jim.
The Boyer, a superior floor player, feeling he no longer needs the height of Spinagle.
Jim, Columbia a little more patient right now. They're looking for Kim Brown. They're trying to get her loose in the low post against Sheehan.
They'll take Bachman's jumper, but that doesn't go down. Sheehan with the board. Bartek and Boyer on the break. Savage scores on the fast break. 5 minutes and 15 seconds after halftime, Township first gets on the board. Countered by Brown from the corner. Did you get that? 5 minutes and 15 seconds Manheim Township played without a score in this third period. So we're tied at 23.
Neither team is shooting the lights out here by any means.
McGovern with the rebound. Good foul by Bachman because McGovern was just going to stick that back up in.
Township strategy hasn't changed, however. They're looking first to Sheehan inside, especially with Groft on the bench.
A capacity crowd here at Mazer Gymnasium, you know, and I can't help but think that this would be a better game, a looser, more relaxed type play if it were outside on this beautiful day on some patch of macadam, John.
I think you're right.
We've seen these girls play. They're better athletes in the game that they're playing today.
I'd agree 100%. Both teams, they shouldn't be uptight anymore, though. They're well into this ball game.
McGovern hits 1 out of 2 to give Township the lead. Renee Smith controls on the pass, breaking the fast break. Aston to Deeg. Seconds called against Columbia.
Too much standing around, Jim.
Yeah,
it's going to cost you.
About the time we say that they're becoming patient, looking for the good shot, somebody pitches a tent in the paint, results in a turnover. A minute and 48 seconds to play in the third period. Township with the ball and with a tenuous 1-point lead. A miss by Boyer, retrieves her own board and rolls it out. Renee Smith on the rebound, loses it under the bucket.
That shot was 3/4 of the way down and came back up.
Yep. Quick to Sheehan, who misses. Rindy Bachman on the run for the Tide. Now Savage in Aston's face on that zone, now dropping back. They're going to... Steph Deeg has a shot out there, but they're triple teaming Kim Brown, and now it's Michelle Savage on a breakaway to Bartek, and she misses. Boyer.
Boy, they're letting them bang out there now. This is night and day from the first quarter.
You're right. Boyer really got wrapped on that shot.
From up here, I think we had a better view than anybody. Township's going to slow the ball down.
45 seconds
to play. For one.
They're going to play for the last shot.
And Columbia's got to come out and play defense.
Well,
they are responsible for the action.
Township has been successful at buzzer beaters at the end of the first quarter and at the end of the half. So Columbia probably...
I'll tell you, Jim, you may look for this even halfway through the fourth quarter to bring Columbia out of that zone if Township continues to continues to have the lead.
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
10 seconds. Savage in control now starts her drive. Dishes off to Sheehan. And
there it is.
Puts it down.
3 consecutive quarters they've done that.
3 consecutive quarters. Manheim Township has converted the final shot as a buzzer beater. But they lead by just 3. 26-23 Township at the end of 3. Township inbounding the start of the final 8 minutes of play for all the marbles in girls basketball, Lebanon-Lancaster League variety. It's the Township Blue Streaks and the Crimson Tide of Columbia. Columbia in a tough zone defense.
Township becoming more and more disciplined and looking for the good shot. They're going to take time off this clock and look for the great shot like that one was and wouldn't go.
It wouldn't go. I'm telling you, there's more talent here than is being shown on this given day on both sides of the ball.
The shooting percentages are just awful today. Columbia will get a third opportunity, and this is a big possession. They can't afford to go down by 5.
You're right. Ann McGovern rebounding over top of Kim Brown, batted it out of bounds. Township leads by 3.
2-3 zone by Township most of the afternoon, most of the year.
Good board by Renee Smith.
It'll be Columbia's ball.
Ann McGovern, jump ball, Columbia's way this time.
I'm glad someone else is still saying jump ball.
As long as I played, I'll say jump ball the rest of my life. Brown is stuck.
Oh, what a power move.
But a power move on Sheehan. Brings the Tide to within 1 again. And Sheehan open at the other end. Wow.
Columbia went to some type of zone press that time, and Sheehan ducked behind it. And now they throw the ball away.
Uh-oh, 4-on-1. Now 4-on-2. Savage to McGovern from the baseline. Kim Brown rebounds. Sheehan draws her 3rd foul. Probably not a factor at this point. You know, she had 2 fouls early in the first period, but has played in a very disciplined manner.
They've been banging the daylights out of each other here in the 3rd and 4th quarters. We've only got 4 total fouls in the second half.
Yeah.
We had 4 in the first 2 minutes of the ball game.
You're right. And a jump ball. Missy Bartak attacks Renee Bachman from the back and ties her up, and it's Township's ball. 28-25 Township, down to the 6-minute mark.
This game is getting very physical out there, and I just kind of look for Township. If they get another bucket, they'll hold the basketball and be very disciplined.
I would suspect so.
I mean, you're talking about a team, Columbia, averaging 69 a ball game with 25 points, 5 minutes left in the, or 6 minutes left in the ball game.
Something we don't want to dwell on, but obviously they've never played they haven't been playing the caliber of Manheim Township.
And that could come into play here down the stretch more so than anything, because Columbia really hasn't been in this type of a pressure situation.
Renee Bachman picks up her 3rd foul, going to be a shooting foul. Karen Sheehan to the line shooting 2. Karen with 14 points, by far the leading scorer in the game. Misses the first. I said by far, that was not too accurate. Kim Brown has 6 in the first half and has picked up 6. Kim has 12 for the Tide. Sheehan misses both.
There's a travel.
Yep.
Yes, it was. Either had to be a travel or a foul. Nothing else. Nothing else could it be.
What would that have been in the first half, John?
I think we'd have had a foul in the first half. They're letting them play. They're going to let them earn it on the floor.
Savage misses the layup. Renee Bachman controls Kim Brown to Steph Deeg. Her first bucket of the game.
I think if this tempo picks up, it favors Columbia.
Have to agree with you. Renee Smith dogging the front runner.
There it is.
Forces a bad pass to Steph Deeg. Tracy Aston in control for the Tide. Now down by 1.
If Columbia scores here, I look for a timeout by Township. I don't believe they've taken one the entire game. Two, three. There's a kick again. That left foot of Savage.
I'll tell you, She's a soccer-style prospect for PATs and field goals, John.
I'll tell you, nice move there. She plays a fine ball game, or is playing a fine ball game out front on that zone.
Very aggressive, very intelligent player. Steph Deeg.
Bang!
From 18 feet. Steph Deeg with 4 quick points, her first of the game, gives the Tide the lead.
That'll get that crowd back into the ball game. They've been awful silent. That's Columbia basketball.
I'll tell you, Sheehan just avoided her first foul. She was reaching over a shoulder.
I really expected Duncheski to get the timeout there. I guarantee it, if they score here, he will. He has a few to burn. Columbia took 2 in the first half, so Kreiser being a little bit more conservative.
Renee Bachman with good floor movement dishes off to Renee Smith. Going to call a foul on Ann McGovern.
Before the shot, this one's going to come out of bounds, I do believe.
Good observation.
That's the 4th team foul on Manheim Township.
That's the 3rd foul on Ann McGovern.
We're going to get a timeout here, Jim.
There's that timeout that you've been looking for, John. And 4 minutes and 21 seconds left to play. It is Columbia 29, Manheim Township 28.
All families have their
John, during that timeout, you know, playoff games are without cheerleaders. But with this Columbia crowd, they're on both sides of the court. They're firing their chants back and forth across the court. As you suggested, the crowd is back in the game for the Tide.
I agree with you, Jim. I think it was awful quiet, and it could come into play down the stretch. At the foul line, it is a shooting foul.
Renee Smith misses the first.
Apparently, she was on her way up when that foul was called. She'll get a second. Columbia leads by 1. And what this does, it takes Township out of their possible delay game, which I kind of thought would happen here about this point.
Exactly right.
They've got to play ball now. They trail by 2.
Okay, Columbia attacking at the midcourt line. Renee Smith dogging the ball. Bartek surrounded by Smith and Bachman. They got to be looking for Sheehan. McGovern is open and hits the shot. Another great feed by Michelle Savage, hitting McGovern on the baseline.
Columbia is coming out into a trapping zone defense, trying to pick up the tempo, but it forced a turnover.
We're tied at 30 and Township in possession. Great defense by the Streaks. Oh! That's a break for Columbia. Columbia going after the loose ball, batted it inbounds to Sheehan, who was completely unprotected.
That's a cardinal sin. You never save a basketball underneath your opponent's bucket.
That's right.
One thing I remember.
Inbounds is intercepted by Stacy Aston, who carries into the front court. Bachman in control. Gets to Kim Brown. Kim misses the shot.
I think she's committed the foul.
Foul on Bachman. That's the 4th on Renee Bachman. I do not expect to see a substitution for Renee. She's far too valuable. I think Karl Kreiser is going to stay with his lineup. He is, however, going to call a timeout. We're going to keep this one here, John. Tied at 30. Columbia has come back. They were down by 2 at the end of the first quarter, down by 4 at halftime, down by 3 at the end of 3 quarters. Now with 3:19 to go, they are tied at 30. Play going back and forth. I must reflect back to the outstanding play by Michelle Savage. Columbia, heavy pressure at the 10-second line. Savage beat that first wave and found McGovern on the baseline all alone. Gave her the good bounce pass. McGovern put it up to tie at 30 after the Streaks had fallen back 30-28.
Good comment, Jim. The bounce pass is one pass that's just not used enough in basketball anymore. That last timeout was taken by Manheim Township, a very good timeout by Duncheski, as his team seemed a bit rattled, and Columbia was gaining some momentum, and they took the fans out of the ball game, came back, got a couple of steals. What was interesting was Kreiser went to his own trapping press, half-court press, to pick up the tempo, and they got burn on it as Sheehan was all alone underneath the bucket for the tying bucket.
So now it's Township's ball again, tied at 30, counting down to the 3-minute mark. Columbia again attacking at midcourt. Renee Smith dogging the ball. Now Columbia drops back. Sheehan at the high post. McGovern and Boyer the wings. Sheehan dropping down low, but Boyer kicks it back out as Sheehan rotates to the weak side. Alternating, McGovern now into the high post. Swings it over to Bartek. Being very patient, looking for that opening. Want to get one-on-one coverage on Sheehan, giving her something to work with.
Columbia has to force the issue here. They are on defense and the game is tied. Manheim Township, if they want, can hold this ball for 2.5 minutes.
I really don't think Manheim Township intends to do that. They're just being
they're gonna
very,
look for
very selective. They'll take that. That's Sheehan in the paint. And the 6'1" junior gives Township a lead. Now it's Kim Brown. Renee Smith, it spills out. Renee Smith almost had the game tire, but it did spill out. Township now 2-minute mark with a lead, with the ball.
They'll be very deliberate this time down.
Columbia now in a man-to-man.
Good move by Coach Kreiser there. He had to do it. And Coach Doncheski across the way is saying, spread it out, spread it out.
How long do you let it go before you foul, John?
Well, we're gonna get a timeout here, so we'll talk about it. We've got 1 minute and 31 seconds left here at Franklin and Marshall. 32-30 Manheim Township. Should we keep it right here, Jim?
Let's talk about the timeout strategy. Let's talk about what Karl Kreiser's telling the tied girls right now. 1 minute and 31. Township has the ball. Columbia needs 2 points. When do you commit that foul to try to set up a possession and go down and get a field goal?
Well, I think what he'll do, at least for the next 30 seconds, is play a very tight defense, but they don't want to be too over-aggressive and let one of those blue streaks get free backdoor on a layup and go down by 4. I think once you get under 1 minute, though, he may be talking over there who to foul and what girl is to foul who. You certainly don't want an intentional foul. You got to foul someone with a basketball, or it'll be 2 shots and the ball out of bounds.
Columbia has thus far outscored Manheim Township in the 4th quarter, 7-6. But bear in mind, Manheim Township had that 3-point lead at the end of the 3rd period.
They're in a man-to-man defense, and it's a very aggressive one.
Ooh, Sheehan was dragging that foot.
There's a big bucket. I think he called a foul on Savage.
Yeah.
Savage seemed to make a good defensive play on that.
Yeah, it looked like Deeg was just carrying the ball to her. 34-30 Township.
That is just a 4th team foul. We'll go bonus both ways from here on out.
Right. The Tide down by 4, minute 11 to play. They need a quick bucket and good defense. Corrinda Bachman shoots, works after her own rebound.
Columbia will get it on the alternate possession.
Ties it up, and it's going to be the Tide's ball.
This is a must-scoring possession for Columbia.
Down by 4, 1 minute to play. Kim Brown.
They're going to go to the franchise now, I would think.
Oh, Steph Deeg trying to kick it back to Bachman in the corner. Threw it out. 54 seconds to play. Township by 4. That could have been the nail.
They're going to have to foul now as soon as they get up over the timeline.
Savage almost throws it away. Saved by McGovern.
There's the foul.
Stacy Aston. Very nice, subtle foul, John. Nothing deliberate. Just a hand in the back in the numbers.
Maybe not a bad foul either, not to pick on Savage, but she does have that bum hand, and she's missed a couple from the line.
She's 1 for 3 on the day.
She'll probably turn around and make these two because I said that, and that's the great.
More particular because she's a pressure ball player. You're
right. She's the veteran out there. She's been through this a couple of times before.
Well, how about that? Sue Boyer picks up garbage and doesn't score, but Sheehan gets it. Sheehan.
That could be the straw that broke the camel's back.
Throwaway. McGovern controls. 29 seconds. Savage just got leveled by Bachman. Township girls aren't too happy about it.
They want 2 shots.
She had a foul. She had a foul.
She had the ball. She really got drilled, and I guess that's about the only thing that saved her.
That's 5 on Bachman. She's getting a big hand from the hometown Columbia backers and a few Township people emanating some boos. Not happy about that last play, but they had a foul, Savage.
Savage hits this, it's over for sure. That's 4 possessions. There it is. I believe that's it. If there was any doubt before.
37-30. Kim Brown with a throw.
They're just forcing it now.
Yep. Savage controlling. The little field general dishing off to Sheehan, who's hammered by Brown. Savage, a little field general out there, John. She's contributed 4 points on the day, but what a big ball game she played.
Sheehan and Savage have done the job.
She's 5'2", but she played much taller than that. Sheehan with 18. No enthusiasm at all.
Everybody was standing around looking for the second shot, and there wasn't one.
That's right. Sheehan 0 for 3 from the line.
That'll do it.
This is Renee Smith. Rebounds at the buzzer. Columbia, a valiant effort, playing the entire second half without their second leading scorer, Renee Groft. Have been overwhelmed here in the late going by Manheim Township. Columbia ends up with 30, Township with 37. In all honesty, not a very good basketball game. Karen Sheehan with 18 points, really the outstanding player of the game. On the Columbia side, he had some real outstanding efforts, but the loss of Renee Groft had to hurt Tide, who came in here without a whole lot of depth to start with.
You're so correct. Excellent observation, Jim, as the girls now shaking hands, good sports that they are, and I'll tell you, it was a real gutty performance by Manheim Township. They came in here, I'm sure, as the underdog, but they played it tough. They led most of the game throughout. They worked the ball. They were very disciplined, looked for the good shot. In fact, the first 3 quarters, the last minute, they milked off the clock in each quarter and got a bucket to finish out the quarter. That's 6 points. They won by 7. Columbia, when they lost Renee Groft in the second half, they just depended too much on Kim Brown as she tried to force the issue a little bit too much, and it just wasn't to be for the Tide. Another disappointment for Columbia as they've lost now to Manheim Township 2 years in a row. Last year in the semifinals, and this one for the I want to say County Championship, Lancaster Lebanon League Championship between 2 county teams here in Lancaster.
And unfortunately for Columbia, a lot of their fine athletes are going on to play in bigger and better things, so they will not be back. On the other hand, Manheim Township has started 2 seniors here today, and Missy Bartek and Michelle Savage. You're going to see people like McGovern and Boyer and Sheehan and Spinagle back here and maybe right back here in that championship game. You know, John, Columbia held the lead. Columbia had their first lead of the game at the 4.5-minute mark. They led 29-28. From that point in the game, in the last 4.5 minutes, the Tide could put up only one more point while Township ran off 9.
I'll tell you, it was a very key timeout. When Columbia took that lead, I expected it right away. They let one more possession go off the clock. Then Coach Fran Dunchesky called the timeout, settled the troops down, and they came out and did the job in the last 4 minutes.
Well, let me give a wrap-up on the scoring, and we'll put this one to rest. For Columbia, Kim Brown, leading scorer with 12 points. Renee Groft, 5 points. Corrinda Bachman, just 2 points before fouling out. Steph Deeg, 4 points. Stacy Aston, 2. Renee Smith off the bench in a very inspirational performance with 5. For the champion Manheim Township Blue Streaks, Michelle Savage, 4 points. Great floor game, great defense. Ann McGovern, 7 points. Sue Boyer, just 2. Missy Bartek with 6. Leading scorer of all the participants today, and 6 big points in the 4th period. Karen Sheehan, the junior, with 18. This is Jim Doherty with John Graham, and we congratulate both schools. We congratulate Columbia High School. They had an outstanding season, 25-0. They came in here. They got beat by 7 points, but they didn't go down easy. And to Manheim Township, the champions, again, Fran Dunchesky, now 24-2 on the year. And his club wrapped it up again. John?
Jim, that's 3 years in a row for Manheim Township. And like you said, with the nucleus they have, it could be 4. And I don't know if anyone's won 4 in a row or not, but
well,
that's not the
we'll have
yet.
to wait till next year. It has indeed been our pleasure. Our thanks to Durs Amico on North Franklin Street across from McCaskey for partially sponsoring this telecast. For John Graham, I'm Jim Doherty, and the final again from F&M. Manheim Township 37, Columbia 30.